So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live show on a Thursday. Oh, little man's outside. And instead of doing my paint along today, I've had a bit of a change. So I've been poorly, just a touch of flu. I didn't feel like doing anything, but wanted to do a bit of something. So yesterday, when I was laid out on the sofa, I played in my little book of colours, which I love. And last week, I started playing with these Peerless watercolours again. And I had forgotten just how much I love them. So I thought it led me to do this one yesterday when I was not well. And I got some really nice effects with just a Derwent water brush. And it was easy to do, which was really important. So I thought I'd show you what I did. So I did that one, and I also finished this one off, which I think there's a video on. That's what set me off with the colours. And I did this one as well, and I really liked the really bright colours. But I also managed to get a watercolour effect. So I thought, well, actually, I've got the best of both worlds, just with one brush and my little set. And I always panic about big areas because it's water based, and normal pages don't like it. But I loved this, so I've been playing on this. So there's a video on finishing this one, and I really enjoyed playing again in this one with these Peerless. They're so easy to use. So I thought I'd just go through, and it's a few years. These have been packed away for 3 or 4 years. All I've used them out of my little book. Now, admittedly, the book fell to bits, and I've put them in here, so I have a new cover. But these were the original pages from my original book, which I did about 3 or 4 years ago. So all I did is cut the squares, labelled them. You have to do a sample because it's impossible to tell the colours, and I'll show you why. But I thought you'd like to see how they arrived. They're very inexpensive. I think I paid about £25 for the actual sets, because I got 3 sets. And it's about £25 for shipping to England. But shipping in the US is really good. I think the £13, £15 maybe for one set, and 20 some for another. They're not very expensive at all. So the first one you get is this one, and they're called Nicholson's Peerless Watercolours, and they come in this gorgeous little envelope kind of book. And it tells you all about them. And they were originally created for tinting photographs in the 1880s. I've never actually read this. I think I may have to read this because I've never read this before. So that's very bad. But what you get is these. And this colour actually is the one I've used quite a lot of. So I've labelled them because you need to label them. Now on the backs of these, they look completely different. And the first one I made a mistake. I've got glue on it because I glued it backwards. I thought that was the actual back, and the yellow backing, if you can just see that. I thought that yellow was the colour. And so I've got glue on that one. Is that the first one? That one's called Brilliant Yellow, which is there. So if you look at this, you'll never think it's brilliant, and it is a brilliant yellow. It is the most vibrant yellow I've got. Apart from, I would maybe say, the Hydrus. They're really good. Yeah, shipping's £2.95. Yeah, it's really good for the US. And as you can see, all I've done is cut that bit off and stuck it in there. And I did that with all of them. So I've got all this left. And these have, I say, have been hidden away in a drawer for 4 years. Now I'm using them exclusively on their own. I probably will use them a lot more. But so that's one set, and there's the brilliant yellow, deep yellow, orange yellow, flesh tint, and I'll show you flesh tint because I used it yesterday. It's looking a bit yellowy, but actually it isn't. It is flesh coloured. An orange yellow flesh tint, sorry, I got there. Geranium pink, japonica scarlet, royal crimson, mahogany brown, sepia brown, light green, dark green, sky blue, deep blue, wisteria violet, pearl grey. So that's one set. Then you can have a bonus pack, and it's a lot smaller, but a word of warning, when you open it, I don't have many left now because I put some in another book, so these are the only ones I've got left now. When you open it, you need to keep them in order. So as soon as you open them, put a rubber band around it because they are this size. I just cut them in half, and then I cut a section off to put into a giveaway book. So put a rubber band around it and an elastic band, because at the back here is a list, and they're all in colour order. Because by looking at these, you will never know the colour, and you won't know what's back or front really. You've got to be very careful, because what you think is the back is actually the front. So when they arrive, you sit them down, and the first one you turn over, second one turn over, and I put little marks on them when I'd labelled them. I think if it's card on the back, you could write on the back, but I haven't done that. Now you can pay an extra £10 to have them labelled, so that they'll have their names actually on them. But as a tight Yorkshire lass, I didn't do that. And then the last set I got was the photo colour tinting set. And that gives you brilliant yellow, japonica scarlet, orange yellow, sky blue and dark green. And they send you a couple of photographs, so you can photographs, so you can practice colouring, which I have never done. And these are the little colours. And then I think I got another set which has lamp black, ivory black, and spotting black. And again, they are for tinting. And I don't think I've even opened this one. We've got warm sepia and pearl grey. So I haven't actually, because they're in the other set, I didn't take them out of the packet, so I put them back in there. So that is actually three sets. There's the photo tinting set, and there's the and this is how they arrived about 4 years ago. I don't know how they arrive now, but they look identical. So again, if you do not get them labelled, you need to, that's the first job to do, because you will never guess the colours. Well, there is actually on the website now, there is actually a colour chart, so probably you could do, but it's a lot easier if you don't need to. But they are fantastic. They are very inexpensive. I think this one is still only about $13, £15. and the big pack is £30, but they're this size. And there's 40 some in there, I think. There's 15 there, so I think there's 55 colours in all. I think that's what I've got. But as I say, they last and last and last, and they are extremely vibrant. They are very similar to the Dr. Martens Hydrus. I don't think there's anything else that's as vibrant. They are very, very vibrant, and they are amazing for colouring in. So all you really need, you could actually put some more in here, and you just have a little brush. But when they first came out, everybody was making these little books, and that's what gave me the idea to then put everything else in here as well that I have. And I think it's about 3 years ago that I put mine in. These are the Hydrus, and they are as coloured as these. But for the price, they are fantastic and so unusual and so easy to use. So I'm going to, having been, as I say, I had flu yesterday. So even though I wasn't very well, I did want to do a little bit of something. I can't just sit and do nothing. So I finished this one. So there's a video of how I did this one. So yesterday I had 1 or 2 bits to finish, and I was practicing the watercolour effect. So again, the tiniest amount on a damp brush, but I like the Derwent brush because it gives the number one, gives out the least amount of water, and yet I have enough to manipulate big spaces to have a beautiful watercolour effect. But just with a water brush and a few sheets of the Peerless. And so I did that yesterday, which then inspired me to do this one. So, and I did most of this as well. So I did 4 colour pages yesterday, which is quite spectacular when you think normally they take quite a long time. So very quick, very easy, and quite spectacular results. Let me see if I can put this on autofocus, and so you can see if I held that. Come on, you know you want to focus. Really, really pretty. Really, really easy. It's been a bad boy. And these colours that I wouldn't normally put together either. And these are the 2 browns, one brown which I used full strength, went somewhere else, came back when it was paler. So I never washed the brush out. And did each petal in one swoop. So again, really quick and really easy, but really loved these such bright colours, and yet I could get some very, very pale, which is important to me. As a tight Yorkshire lass, I like to be able to use them very bright, or as a watercolour, very pale. It's important to me to be able to use them in different ways. So they behave themselves extremely well, and they're very instantly flowy. You don't have to mess about with water. They flow very, very quickly, very nicely. So I thought I would just show how these arrive, as they probably still arrive in the same way, but they're quite good quality. Well, they're very good quality, and They're spectacular. You could even just put these inside, the whole 55 colours. And don't forget that there's one colour there, but there's 10 shades. So there's 55, but you've got more than that. You've got 550 shades just in an inch, half an inch. Or you can make them bigger squares. Now I'm using them on their own, I'll use bigger squares. But they've lasted me quite a long time. And this tea rose, when my husband was in hospital, you can use a water brush one-handed just to play if you can't do anything. So I was really impressed, and that's when I fell in love with them again. They've been a bit neglected for a few years. So I just thought I'd show you how wonderful and versatile these Peerless watercolours are for colour books. Thank you for watching.